Hey y'all, and welcome to today's video. I wanted to share with you guys a day in my life during the summer. So the first thing that I always do is wake up and have coffee. So I got this little cute mug a while ago from TJ Maxx, and it just says teach and inspire, repeat, inspire, teach, in gold and red. Alright, so let's make that cup of coffee real quick. Man, sun isn't out just yet. Hopefully it will be. I don't know if it's supposed to rain today or what. But the way that my summer days go is simply we get up at 6 and we take my husband to work and then we come back. And I know we're supposed to be getting like all the sleep possible, but it just doesn't work like that. Because you want to make sure, you know, that he makes it to work safely. So last year around Labor Day, he had an accident on his scooter, and so somebody left another scooter laying down and he basically flipped over it, broke his wrist. We had to have all that surgery done within September. So literally he broke it Labor Day, because clearly his job is still open. And so I was off and I was sleeping in, and he tripped over the other scooter, you know, that the city owns or whatever, and they just leave him anywhere. So he did that like September 3rd, so that was 9/3, 9/4, and then surgery was done like literally like less than a week before my daughter's birthday. So it was done before September 20th. Everything just like happened so fast. So then he did all his follow-up appointments. Everything is much better. He still can't like bend it all the way back, you know, like we can. It's like more like just like at that angle. But anyways, like I said, I'd rather know that he's safe and whatever. So my type of coffee, y'all, on the normal is just like a breakfast blend, and then to add in some cream and sugar. My type of cream, French vanilla, of course. I like to put like a little bit in there. That way the coffee can mix with that from the jump. And then I just add in like 2 spoonfuls of sugar. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, the Kodiak power cakes. This is for pancakes and waffle mix. They call them flapjacks, but this is the birthday cake kind. And let me just say, it has 4 different ways that you guys can use this mix in order to make something. So yesterday I tried it out doing the waffles, and that was really good because all I needed was 1 cup of this, 3/4 cup of water, and then 1 tablespoon of oil. I do want to do the birthday cake cupcakes, but I also want to do the soft bake birthday cake cookies. So I don't know if I'll have enough mix to do both. I don't know, I might make the cookies today, just because I don't typically on hand have the cupcake molds, and you know, I'm always baking something, so I don't have them. But like I said, it's really good. I mean, like I said, you can find these at Target, the birthday cake one, that is. So I always like to have coffee first thing in the morning along with some breakfast. And then from there, I just like kind of sit down and start creating. So in the summer, yes, I have the whole summer off. I get to do whatever it is I please as far as like, you know, creating stuff or just not doing nothing at all. Like I said, as a teacher's assistant, I don't have to I don't have the lesson plan. I don't have to come up with none of that stuff. I do contribute as a teacher's assistant to the classroom because I do feel like with, you know, like with my degree, I want to make sure, you know, that I include myself because of the simple fact that I'm working on becoming a teacher. You know what I mean? Like, you know, with trying to get my degree, I do feel, you know, just like wanting to be a part of something. So typically what I've been doing is like kind of keeping a notebook and writing down things that I want to do. So as a teacher's assistant, we are responsible for like when we walk the kids to PE, art, library, you know, things like that. So one thing I'm thinking of creating eventually once I can figure out like the class list is like a class list that I can put on my lanyard, and then also just like some other little small things that I can create. Let me show you guys. Alright, so this is like my binder, and I keep things in here, of course, that, you know, like I want to share, with myself. So I'll share it with you guys. So simply, I always keep like a 3-ring binder that I can put all of my stuff in. And what I mean by like all of my stuff is simply like in one section I put like, I download things that I want to recreate for the classroom, or that I want to improvise in the classroom. So I have this like little greeting that I wanted to use in the classroom, and the thing is, I've already downloaded like that piece right there, so this can go outside of the door, you know, just to update, because the reason why I say this is we haven't been in that classroom in a year. Nobody else was in that classroom this year, but nobody's been in that classroom in a year because I was working in first grade this year, and honestly I regretted it. At the end of the day, I gave something else a try, didn't like it, and I'm back, you know, to what it is I like to do, and that's kindergarten. So I also like to keep other things, you know, like in case you have new staff members that come along and you have to like help them, you know, with stuff. One of the main things that we talk about at our school is like the reinforcing language, reminding language, and redirecting language. It's just part of a whole curriculum that definitely I would love to talk about more definite details. But I like that because I also have it to where I can put it, like reprint it, but then put it, like make it smaller and put it in a lanyard. That way, like, you know, other people would know like what to reflect back on. But like I said, in my binder, I just keep like a little bit of everything, you know, like if I want to recreate something that I've seen, I'll put it towards the front. These are like QR codes to go with stories that the kids can listen to in like literacy, and then kind of like math strategy posters that I can recreate on Canva. So I have been doing like a little bit of that this summer. I also started like towards the end of the year with doing the different like posters that, you know, we could put up in the room, or like I can print off and have, you know, at my desk area for small groups for math, if need be, like if I need to work with someone. But I also just have like my school stuff in the back where it's just telling me like all the classes that I need to take, and then stuff like that. But I keep like this little notebook, and in my notebook I simply just like keep anything that I, you know, like want and need. But then, like I said, I take notes of everything. Like I'm taking notes of like the class list, what I want it to look like, so that, you know, I have it on hand for when she's not there, or, you know, like for my lanyard, I'm making like a data tracking sheet for, you know, like my small groups, and then like some alphabet file folder games, like what things would I do for that, right? And then I have like the lanyard pieces where I want to create like a schedule card, a student information card, and then class list, and then like where we go for specials each day, which is part of our schedule, and then passwords and allergies, because you just never know. The last year that I was in kindergarten, we had a student at the beginning of the year who had an egg allergy, and not everybody knew that. So it was kind of like, oh. Some morning tubs. Kindergarten does morning tubs where they come in the morning, they grab a tub, and that's something that they can do if they're not, eating breakfast at the time. And then like some morning ideas. So there's plenty of like morning ideas that I've been thinking of doing for our classroom. And the good thing is like my coworker allows me to step in and, give any type of feedback that I want to give. So I was thinking like for Monday, it could be Math Monday, where it's like a page from their math workbook, or something like a little bit similar to what we've already been working on in math. Tuesday could be like Tinkering Tuesday, where they play with the like the materials like we would use for math and stuff. Wednesday could be like Word Work Wednesday, where they would do like a word search, or they would have to use a grid that has like letters in it, and like make words, or they're working on like the ending sounds, or they're working on beginning sounds, they're working on like those type of things. And then Thursday could be like Thinking Thursday, where you give them something to like work on, where you have to really think. And Friday could just be Free Choice Friday, where they could play with toys. And so another thing that I wanted to really put into the classroom this year is like shape doodles. Shape doodles is like where you're starting off as like you can give like the kids a piece of paper with a line that starts like this, and ask them to finish drawing the picture, things like that. If you haven't had the chance to check out the Quiet Town workbook idea, I definitely would do so. It's here on my channel, and it is the most recent list of videos. But my Quiet Town workbooks I create because I try to take a load off of my coworker, who has like basically all the assessments to do in August and September. And so it's like one less thing that she would have to put together. But in the Quiet Town workbooks, I typically put like a maze, a dot to dot, I Spy, color by number, crossword puzzles, tracing, tic-tac-toe game, and finish the picture. So I have the ones for August and September done. I'll have to start just working on October. But in the summertime, I don't typically open up my work computer. It's typically dead, so I just work on it on my Mac. But some of the like morning meeting things I definitely wanted to be a part of, so I created some, and would love to share some of the morning meeting like ideas that I have. So I don't know, like I could put that in the videos coming up soon, like of all the August morning meeting ones. And then kind of like people could use those ideas. And then creating like a bunch of new activities, and the shares. And so one of the cool things that I found this year is where you like, after working in first grade, I found many different ways to pair students up. No, it's not always about, oh, go find someone to work with. It's clearly like you can hand up, pair up, yes, and allow them to do it. But at the same time, in order to pick the most efficient way to interact everyone with each other, I feel like, it's best to like do hand up, pair up if you feel comfortable. But also I learned to do like the popsicle sticks. The popsicle sticks is something where it has their name on it. You pull it out, you pick 2 people or 3 or 4, how many ever groups it is that you need, and you kind of just go from there. And it's like a randomization group that's being made, so that people can work with other people. But one thing that I did find is partner cards. And so the partner cards that I found, I just printed off and needed them to be laminated. So a lot of the things that I have printed off before school ended just has to be laminated when we get back. But the partner cards are like syrup and pancakes are gonna pair up together. Peanut butter and jelly are gonna pair up together. And like you're gonna pair it with the thing that goes with it, which is a good thing because it comes with enough, like for multiple pairs. And so one of the things that I want to make sure we get down packed is like having data between me and my coworker as far as like all the letters that they know, letter sounds, if they can count to 5, if they can count to 10, and kind of make like a document of that, so that way they can feel a part of that by like including stickers, putting stickers in. That's one thing that they did in first grade. I don't actually have the template of it, but it just helps to monitor the data of what they can do. So I definitely want to do that. And then creating a progress monitoring tab of like letter recognition, number recognition, things like that. So like I said, I write things down in the summer of things that I want to do, and kind of just like go from there. But it's a lot into building a successful learning in the first week of school. So the first week of school is just like that relationship piece, things like that. Like I said, in the summer I do, still think of stuff for work. I'm on Pinterest, I'm on Canva, creating stuff, writing things down. So now that it is like the middle of July, I haven't logged in to see like a class list yet. And even when we do know the class list, they change. Because people are either coming in, they're moving out, or they're just like no longer, attending the school, things like that. But for the most part, I now have my teacher's bag ready. And so from today, I have a total of 3 weeks, or 3 weeks left. So next week after, and then I go back after that. So within the last 3 weeks, I've taken time to get all the stuff that I'm going to take back into the classroom, and then get my teacher's bag together, which I've already done. If you haven't checked that out, that's here on my channel as well. And then, I don't know, I just want to show you guys like the stuff that I've created, because using Canva, if you have a teacher ID, you just show it. And then you get Canva Pro for free. So you're saving yourself like $13 a month, which is a good thing. So, I don't know. I'm going to give it a little bit of time, come back and check in with you guys and show you guys what it is I've created. And then basically we'll just enjoy the rest of my day in my life as a teacher, because I don't work in the summer. I just choose not to work summer school. I'm sure, like, 1 year I'll try it. But with vacations and stuff, I try not to interact those two together with my, summer break, but also summer school. So I'll check back in with you guys soon.